Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we got some good old liberal hive mind. FBI releases shooters online activity. Holy shit. Now, I think this might either be, I think this one's on the Dallas shooting of the ICE facility. So yeah, I just remember waking up, I think it was yesterday or Tuesday, but I think it was yesterday. I woke up and I literally saw a shooting at Dallas ICE place, and I was at ICE facility, and I was just like, bro, these fucking people, man. Like, I can't wait to see how they spin this as a, oh, this wasn't a left issue, this is a right issue. It's the Republicans, the rights, the conservatives that are forcing these individuals to go out and kill people. But you know what's even funnier? The fact that he went out obviously to kill ICE agents, but he ended up, like, I think he got like he got 3 people. All 3 of them were illegals, and 2 of them passed, and one of them is, like, I think fatally injured or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, you suck ass. But yeah, let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so as we've been saying for weeks now, America is in the middle of a left-wing terrorism crisis, and obviously the corporate media and even the independent...
It says, I'm done being an FCC expert today. This week I'm an FDA expert with the Democrats, obviously, and then it's Tylenol on the bottom one. Is that top one Kellogg's? Or is that Kimmel? Or is that the fucking Jimmy Kimmel fucking bug? It looks like Kellogg's based off of the fucking K. I thought it was Kellogg's. But if it's Kimmel, that's even more hilarious, given the fact that after they let him go, they quite literally brought him back, which is fucking insane to me.
Media clowns on the left all over social media. They're doing everything in their power to muddy the waters. Every time we see a shooting, a bombing, an attack on a conservative or law enforcement, the left immediately scrambles to try to create a distraction or create confusion, or they'll push the same line for as long as they possibly can. We don't know the motive. Or, of course, in worse cases, to suggest that actually the attacker wasn't left-wing. No, he was a groiper. He was a right-winger. But time and time again, the truth keeps coming out. And the latest revelation in respect to this Joshua Jan character, well, it leaves no more room for doubt. This was planned, this was targeted, this was left-wing political violence. And we've now got all the evidence we need. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on.
But they'll claim that he's right-wing. Yeah, a right-wing is totally going to go out and start shooting up an ICE facility, given that the right voted for ICE to come in and arrest all the illegals. Yeah, we're totally gonna start defending them after the only reason, one of the reasons why Trump won was because he ran on arresting all these illegals and deporting them. Yeah. All of a sudden, we're against it. Sure. Keep dreaming.
Got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, so if you guys are paying attention, the mainstream media is still doing what they always do. They're being extra cautious, claiming we don't know.
Okay, so this is the one in the one about the ICE facility. All right, because this is Texas and it's Collin County. Yep.
The motive here, it's always the same double standard. If it can be twisted or perceived as a right-wing attack, they jump on that motive, but the moment it's connected to them...
And fucking dude looks like a liberal, is all I'm gonna say. He looks like a liberal who'd do this.
All of a sudden, oh, well, we don't know for the next 2 frickin' weeks, probably the next 2 years, most likely indefinitely, forever. Basically across the board in the mainstream and also on social media, the left has gone into their reflexive, defensive mode immediately. There's now a story showing family statements out there that, quote, he wasn't a radical and he didn't hate ICE. But of course, that's expected. We've already basically exposed the...
Then why would he shoot up an ICE facility if you don't hate ICE? Why would you... Yeah, just why would you go after ICE if you don't hate ICE? Someone who loves ICE and loves what ICE is doing wouldn't do this. whatsoever.
The family as being rabid anti-Trump, hardcore leftist activists. And
Makes
so,
sense.
you know, you could suggest that there might be an incentive to protect their son and protect their political beliefs, maybe even protect them as being the ones who radicalized their son down this left-wing path. And of course, the typical characters are running with this story. You got conspiracy theory pieces being
Oh,
pushed
of
by
course.
Hasanabi. Quote, the narrative on the Dallas, Texas shooting is falling apart. Really, it's falling apart. Yeah, no, obviously it isn't. And we've got a whole bunch of information suggested that this whole thing was orchestrated, it was planned. We've also got messages and notes from the shooter himself, which I covered in another video that should be releasing shortly after this one. But yeah,
Yeah, let's not get into the fact that on the bullet casings, he had the exact same rhetoric and the exact same messages that the individual who shot Charlie had on his bullet casings. But yeah, totally not the same, right? Yeah, fucking retards.
taking the statements of the family and attempting to spin this, and I wonder why that would be, especially coming from Hasanabi. It couldn't possibly be the eerie similarity in terms of his profile picture and the shooter's profile picture. I don't know, can't put my finger on it. Yeah, obviously, he was a communist, a left-wing revolutionary communist, just like Hassan. Not saying that Hassan's a mass shooter, of course not, but clearly he was part of—
No, but he'll advocate for it. He'll advocate, you know, that his side, the left, needs to go out, commit these atrocious acts. They need to go out and start killing people. But the moment he's confronted on it, he's like, no, it was a joke, guys. It was a joke. You need to be able to understand the subtleties in what I'm saying. They're just jokes. They're edgy jokes, lads. I wouldn't advocate for this. Yet he's advocated for it multiple times. And he's broken the law multiple times, and he's gone out to these types of riots multiple times just to advocate that he's on their side.
Of your left-wing side, it really shouldn't even be a conversation. It's not up for debate. And well, it isn't. And you know what? It's not just the ideological connection. No, it goes a whole lot further than that in terms of left-wing complicity, because we're now learning that apparently the shooter in this instance was searching ICE tracking apps.
The evidence is clear that this was—
Guess who released those types of apps? You guessed it. Ding, ding, ding. It was the left. Why? Because the right would never do something like this, because it's fucking a waste of time. Like, and it's so funny how they'll try to spin this as like, oh, this is the right's fault. It's like, really? The right isn't trying to pass laws that would force ICE agents to demask, even though they wouldn't really work, because they're at a federal level. They don't have to listen to state laws, hence why they're able to do what they do. They'll say that, you know, oh, the right's the dangerous side. Meanwhile, when George Floyd died, it was the left that rioted, looted, and went nuts in all these stores. It's the left that keeps, you know, looting malls and gas stations en masse, because they know that in these Democrat-run cities, they're not going to be prosecuted whatsoever. These will all be misdemeanors, and cops don't want to deal with misdemeanors. Come on. Ooh, excuse me. Don't you know that they're paid to do other things, like sit around in their cars and do nothing and not respond to 911 calls? Like, come on. They got better things to do, like stuffing their faces with donuts. But then they'll be like, oh, but and then, oh, when someone like Charlie Kirk dies, the right, what does the right do? Do they riot? Do they go out? Do they start burning cars? No, they hold candlelight vigils and moments of prayer and moments of silence for Charlie and his family, and peacefully march down the streets. Yeah, totally the same. Meanwhile, the left, literally earlier this fucking year, throwing blocks of concrete at ICE, stopping ICE vehicles from doing their job, you know, blocking the roads, breaking the city, the actual like city and whatnot, the roads, the sidewalks and everything. to make these makeshift barriers to try to stop ICE from arresting these illegals. And what do the people of these cities do? Oh, they aggravate and agitate the left even more, saying, yes, show them mean weed business. If it needs to get even more drastic, then do it. Take the even more drastic action. But then when someone does take that drastic action, no, that's no, we don't condone political violence, even though not 3 months ago they were literally condoning political violence. Like, bro.
Is intended as an assault on ICE personnel who come to work every day to do their job. The shooter used the ICE tracking apps. Anyone who creates or distributes these apps that is designed to spot, track, and locate ICE officers are well aware of the dangers that they are exposing to law enforcement. It's a casting call to invite.
It's intentional. It's all intentional. Like he's about to say, it's 100% intentional. Because these people have no morals whatsoever, and the justification that they use to try to get out of any types of consequences is they try to appeal to our morals. Well, guess what? We're starting to throw our morals out the window too. Just like in that Akkad Daily video that we reacted to, it's the prisoner's dilemma. It's like, okay, well, we're done just being constantly stabbed in the back. We're gonna, but we're done trying to fix the sinking boat. If you truly want the boat to sink, then we'll let it sink and we'll both drown. And now the left is like, no, but it's your job to fix the boat. It's our job to keep making holes in the boat and you constantly fix them. And the right's now like, nah, I'm good. You can keep making holes in the boat. We'll sink together.
Bad actors to attack law enforcement officers. It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target, and this is exactly what we saw happen in Dallas yesterday. The media has been amplifying these apps even as we warned them it would only lead to more attacks on law enforcement. We truly wish we didn't have to say, I told you so, but here we are. ICE continues to prioritize the safety and security of our personnel, detained aliens, and facilities. We will do everything possible to increase security to counter the increased wave of these lethal attacks. Again, we call on those who foment violence and vilify our law enforcement officers to cease the dangerous rhetoric. We also call on law-abiding Americans everywhere to report any suspicious activity. The individual that was out there yesterday shooting at our agents and our officers was trying to take the lives of law enforcement people doing their job. Instead, he killed a detainee and shot 2 others.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought he killed 2 detainees and one was in critical condition. I mean, obviously they know more than me, but that could also have changed overnight. One of the ones that was shot that was supposed to be stable turned out wasn't so stable and he died, but I could have sworn I saw an update that said that 2 had died. If I'm wrong, then fuck it, I'm wrong. But still, it's a horrible thing that, these 3 fucking people had to get shot all because some lunatic was trying to kill 3 ICE agents. Or not even 3. Who knows how many he was trying to kill? He could have been trying to go for more, but only got 3 shots off.
That is something that's unacceptable. The rhetoric that's out there on social media, the rhetoric that is being said by some community leaders in other states needs to stop.
And if you don't understand the context here, you might be a little bit confused, but we were covering the creation of these apps back in, I think, roughly midsummer, when the mass deportation efforts started to kick in high gear and started to move into California. Leftist activists were creating tools in order to monitor and follow federal officers, with an explicit effort to dox them, to find them, so that radical leftoids can show up and protest. In other words, violent riots, obstruction of official law enforcement operations.
Administration steps up ICE raids.
Protest with air quotes, with, fucking gas masks and fucking riot shields. Protest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just curious, but when did Martin Luther King, in his march, when did he suddenly start passing out gas masks and riot shields to everyone who was there? I don't think that happened. I don't remember that happening, actually. I don't remember Martin Luther when he said peacefully protest. I don't remember him passing out riot shields and gas masks. I know. I'll be shocked, but I don't think these protests are meant to be that peaceful.
In mass deportations, one tech developer is pushing back with an app designed to track ICE activity in real time. It's called Ice Block, and it's controversial to say the least. CNN's Claire Duffy is with us now. How does this work, Claire, and what are the legal implications?
Yeah, John, I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officers.
If that's what it wants it to be, how is this not impeding on ICE activity? How is this not impeding with federal agents' business? I'm just curious about that one. How exactly is this not just immediately removed off the App Store? Or whatever fucking Google Play or whatever fucking device you have, whatever store it's on.
So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether if they want. So you open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the—
Yeah, because that's how it was totally going to be used, right? Yeah, guarantee that was not how he intended it to be used, and he's just saying that to try to save face.
The map to report an ICE sighting in their area, and then everybody who uses the platform within 5 miles of that sighting will get a push alert. This is a free iPhone app. It is anonymous. Aaron says he doesn't collect any user data. And what I think is really interesting about this in this moment is we've seen so many of the biggest leaders in tech supporting President Trump, but Aaron is sort of an example of the fact that there are people within the tech industry who are really resistant to Trump's policies. I asked him what he would say to those tech leaders who, for example, were at the inauguration. Here's what he told me. Take a listen.
I understand that you have shareholders.
Oh, fucking course. Of course. Makes sense now. Makes sense.
To report to. I understand that you have employees that need their paychecks. But at what point do you say enough is enough?
And John, I should say—
Okay, here's my question to you then. At what point does your side say enough is enough when it comes to political violence? At one point does your side say enough is enough when it comes to riots, looting, destroying of small businesses, destruction of public property, destruction of federal buildings? When does your side say enough is enough to that? Because as of late, as a matter of fact, in the past years, we haven't even seen that toned down from your side. So when is enough is when is enough is enough? When is enough enough?
That ICE did not respond when I asked them about this platform and about Aaron's opposition to their activity.
And the mainstream media, of course, ran these glowing pieces on these brave, brave souls. Oh, how incredible. And I remember covering those stories and saying, I was warning that those were dangerous tools that were going to be used to harm ICE officers. And lo and behold, that prediction unfortunately once again became true. It's now confirmed that the shooter in this case was using that app to surveil ICE to find them, and then he went on to commit this horrific act. Yeah, I'd say that's more than correlation. It's not just the ideal—
Apple should immediately take that fucking app down. Just saying. And if any other developer tries to push an app like that onto the store, they should immediately block it. Nope, you're not allowed to. That's just my 2 cents, though.
Logical similarity. No, he was also using the left's activist tools. That is direct operational use of left-wing activist infrastructure to commit an act of terror. It is undeniable at this point. There's no more debate. There's no more conversation. No matter how many times Hasanabi tells his viewers that the narrative is falling apart. No, the narrative is extremely secure. In fact, it's more secure today than it was yesterday. And what I'm covering in this video is only a fraction of the information that's been released so far. We also learned from Kash Patel that apparently just days prior to the shooting, the shooter in this case was researching Charlie Kirk's shooting. And now, of course, that could have just been a natural effect of following the news cycle. But really, just a couple days ago, Charlie Kirk was murdered 2 weeks ago. And yet this guy was searching up those videos just a couple days prior to committing this heinous act, as he was
researching ballistics and Charlie Kirk shot videos. That's fucking wild. Download a DHS facility list. Notes indicating intent to terrorize ICE agents. Hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror to think. Is there a sniper with AP rounds on the roof? Like, bro, this is insane, dude. But they'll try to cover this up. They'll say, no, he was right wing.
Was also researching ballistics. And then he went on to commit a
little fun fact about the people on the right. They wouldn't need to research ballistics because they'd already know this because they already own guns. But guess what? They're not going to do this stupid shit. Why? Because they like their Second Amendment right. And they understand that if they did this shit, it would make them look bad and make our side look bad. And they don't want that. Why? Because we have morals. Something these people do not.
Copycat kill from a rooftop using a scoped rifle and engraved his bullets. He, by the way, used a very similar rifle than Tyler Robinson. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like he was inspired by the Tyler Robinson killing. Seems that he is clearly a communist with left-wing anti-ICE beliefs. He was inspired by Democrat activism and rhetoric. He was also using Democrat activist infrastructure. And yet the left wants to deny. They want to claim, oh, we don't know. No, we frickin' know. We frickin' know. And clearly they're acting partisan and they're claiming that we're acting partisan, but we really aren't. It's not even about left versus right. I'm not trying to defend the right or make a partisan attack targeting the left. I do that all the time, of course. I'm certainly guilty of being partisan, but this is well beyond that. This is just reality. We've got these wannabe revolutionary communist types who are turning violent. We have real-world left-wing terror. And I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but we cannot let you dishonest leftoids gaslight us into thinking that this is a both sides issue. It is.
Well, this is what fascists do. They try to silence the opposition by any means necessary. They resort to violence. They'll push propaganda, claim that the opposition is in fact the evil side, and that the opposition needs to be silenced by any means necessary. They'll start recruiting the masses through subtle hints and propaganda to try to take action into their own hands, so that way their hands can be quote unquote clean from any crime. Yeah, and this is all just basic shit that actual fascists do. But people are waking up to it. Why? Because people are sick and tired of just being constantly called fascists by the side that actually uses fascist Nazi tactics. Like, it's fucking wild to me that people just didn't get fed up with this fucking fucking farther back. I'm just amazed. Like, bro, like, people are just fucking tired of it. Rational fucking people are just over all this shit of them being called fascists, being called Nazis, when they have the most moderate fucking takes, like, crazy thought, maybe we shouldn't decriminalize indecent exposure just because it might supposedly, according to you, affect the trans community. Like, what a fucking joke, man. What a fucking joke. You're seriously gonna sit here and say that pedophiles are allowed to be pedophiles and sex-registered individuals are allowed to continue to be, you know, these fucking disgusting human beings, pieces of shit garbage, all because it might make the trans community look bad? In my opinion, we should be asking, how would this make the trans community look bad if we passed a law that said, you know, if we allowed, or not passed the law, but if we allowed indecent exposure to continue to be a crime? Why would that affect the trans community? That's the real fucking question. Not how might this affect the trans community? Why would it affect the trans community if they're supposedly these sane individuals who claim that all they want is to be left alone, well then why do they all of a sudden want to push a pro fucking pedophilic goddamn agenda? It's insane. Oh, sorry, minor attracted individual, as they want to be called. What a fucking joke, man.
It's not. This was yet again another left-wing act of terror, and there is no argument left to be had. The facts are absolutely clear, and if you deny them, you are a conspiracy theorist. At least until we get some information proving otherwise. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
That's so fucking stupid, dude. If you genuinely don't hate the fucking left enough, honestly, you genuinely don't hate them enough. But yeah, if you enjoyed my video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz, and I will catch you in the next one later.